من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today I want to talk about an ibadat, how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know as every human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create all human beings because to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said in Surah Al-Zariyat, وَمَا خَلَقَتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ يُطْعِمُونِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الرَّزَّاقُ ذُو قُوَّةٍ مَتِينٍ وَمَا خَلَقَتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah did not create jinn and mankind. Allah created jinn and mankind. Why? Because to worship Him. إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, except to worship me. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I created mankind and jinn to worship me. Only to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to know, you have to learn how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we know, you as a good Muslim, you have to learn how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you refuse to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will find the painful punishment on the day of judgment. Those who disbelieve for the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, they will face the painful punishment. Why? Because they disbelieve for the hereafter. They just refuse to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do what they need, what they want, what they love, what they desire about, not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded all mankind to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed us to worship Him. In among the best days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved to worship Him with it, as-salah. You have to learn how to do salah. You have to learn how to be a good Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ يُطْعِمُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never sees anything from us. He don't need anything from us. Only just He commanded us to worship Him. This is the instruction instructed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then you pray for Him, that's something that you find yourself in some critical situation and you call that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to rescue you from that critical situation that you find yourself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rescue you from that critical situation. Any disparate that you are in, wallahi, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will give you the strength. He's the one who has the fullest strength. Inna Allah huwa razzaq. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the provider and also professor of strength. Dhu quwwatin matin. We have to know that. So, my advice to you is to clothe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to worship Him. Wallahi, if you refuse to back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, You will find yourself at the day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He sees you will never get the alternative. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Hud, وَكَذَلِكَ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ إِذَا أَخَذَ الْقُرَى وَهِيَ ظَالِمَةٌ إِنَّ أَخْذَهُ أَلِيمٌ شَدِيدٌ. And your Lord, أَخْذُ رَبِّكَ إِذَا أَخَذَ الْقُرَى. And your Lord, He sees what? If He sees the city. Why? Because they are committing wrong. They refuse to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees them. Said the city. إِنَّ أَخْذَهُ أَلِيمٌ شَدِيدٌ. Wallahi, they find themselves in critical situation, in painful punishment. Why? Because they are committing wrong. How about your character? I worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us. I worship Him like this. If you are doing good, you know. If you are not doing good, you know. Everything that you hide it in your mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know everything, either we hide it or not. Let me describe you one hadith that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. This hadith is reported by Abu Hurairah. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, بادروا بالأعمال الصالحة فستكون فتنة كقطع الليل المظلمة يصبح الرجل مؤمن ويمسي كافرا ويمسي مؤمنا ويصبح كافرا يبيع دينه بعوض من الدنيا. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, be front for righteous death, to do righteous death. Before overtaken by turbulence, like a part of dark night. فستكون فتنة كقطع الليل المظلمة. يصبح رجل مؤمنا ويمسي كافرا. A man will wake up in the morning as he believes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the evening, he turned to disbelief. And a man, for the evening, can find himself in among of believers. But he turned to disbelief in the morning. Why? Because yebi'u dinahu. He sold his deen for this dunya. He sold his deen for this dunya, for nothing. بعوض من الدنيا. يبيع دينه بعوض من الدنيا. Why? Because he loved this dunya. Wallahi, there is nothing in this dunya. Don't be attached to everything that you have in this world. Everything that you have on this earth. Don't be attached. Because you will back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without nothing. You will back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Me, I will back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we must be interrogated for what we have done in this dunya. Did you start prepared for the hereafter? You start this preparation. You start. If attach your belt and start from now. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَن يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi